bank, a pivot point, and Warren Buffett. Hello, fellow traders everywhere. Adam Hewison here, co-founder of MarketClub, with your midday market update for Monday, the 27th of February. A bank, a pivot point, and Warren Buffett. We're looking at something very special today in those areas. Also, as crude oil and the USO is a time to take a break from those markets. We'll be looking at those markets, and also be looking at three stocks on the move: Micron Technology, Whirlpool CORP, and Medco Health Solutions. But right now, we're going to be looking at the rest of the markets using our trade triangle technology. But first, we have a summit coming up here, MarketClub's first investor summit. It's going to be in just outside of Salt Lake City, and you can give us a call at 1-877-219-1482, extension 10234. And if you're calling from overseas, 1-801-341-3981. Same extension, 10234. Love to see you out there. I'll be there, and I'd like to meet you and talk about the markets, and hopefully we can get you all set up for having a great year in 2012. It's already started out to be a good year for us. So let's go to the markets right now, and we'll go to our portfolio manager, and we're looking right now at the S&P 500, which has a plus 100 based on our score. The trade triangles are all green, indicating a nice move up. We've traded as high as almost the 1370 level, and you can see with 1369.93, it looks really nice. This market's got a lot of support under it. A lot of people are not in this market at all, and as you can see, we got in on the 10th of January at 1292. We've got some nice profits in there, almost 78 points profit, which is really cool, because this market's never gone against us really to speak of. So very happy about that. So let's go back to our portfolio manager, looking at the Dow. That's a plus 85. That's acting well also. You see it came under pressure early today, down almost 100 points, came right back up. We are very close to making highs over in fact, we have made highs over yesterday's high. This is a new high for the Dow, over 13,000. Excuse me. I beg your pardon. So let's go to our next market. This looks very good. Again, they're very positive on these markets, and I think people just aren't believing these markets can go up, and that's exactly what they have. There's the NASDAQ, plus 100. Again, we got the buy there at 2,753. So that's 240 points away, almost 10% just since January 10th. So January 18th, rather, just a very nice trade for us. So let's go to our next market. Next market, we're looking at silver. Now, silver is a plus 100, but there's something a little bit, we really want to see silver do something special, and that's to close over the 36 level. That breaks a longer-term trend line. If I go out, let's say 6 months, in fact, let's go out a year, you'll see this longer-term trend line from here. It really would help this market if you were to see that taken out. It would give it some momentum. As you can see right now, it's right on it. We talked about this last week. So we may see a little bit of a pullback and then possibly power through there. But it looks as though we're trying to build this big base, and this could be the start of the right shoulder, which would take, in my opinion, some weeks to potentially build. So let's see how that works out. Now, going to gold, which is a much more popular market for most investors, we're down 1.4, buck and a half, probably not very much change there. It's just changed as you see right now. But it's a 55, which means it's a trading range, and there's really not much going on there. You can see the last few days. But our trade triangles, the short-term daily is now red, indicating short-term weakness in this market. And we may see some further, we could probably draw a trend line from the lows here. And you click on here, see the little yellow box goes on the top left-hand corner. And yeah, it's kind of like they're not perfectly in my book, but certainly this is an area you could really watch very carefully around the 1740 level. We could also put in our parabolics, which was probably, right there. This is the low today. If we see this market go below 1758, that would indicate a parabolic shift, much like we saw here. The market sort of drifted down. So let's see how that plays out. Now, the next market we're looking at is copper. Copper is really a reflection of the economy. Now, that market is up today. It's it had the pullback, which we were looking for, the Fibonacci retracement level, just pretty much hit it. It's come right back up. And it looks to me like we'll see this market it's sort of made this sort of turn, this nice little turn right here. And it looks like it's ready to challenge the 4 level, which is right up here. And I think that's a definite possibility. All we want now is to see the weekly turn green, and I think we're off to the races. So let's see how that plays out. So next market we're looking at is going to be the crude oil. Now, crude oil's had a really great run. It's a little bit under pressure today, but it's had a really nice run. You can see this is the first time we've seen this market pull back. I would say this pullback is going to probably stay above the 105 level, but if you look, scope this out a little further. The reason I say the 105 level, because if I get my telestrator on here and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the here. So if we're looking at this line really right around here, so I would say at the 105 level, we may see a pullback like this, but I think eventually we're going to see this market go to the 125 level. That's exactly what we're looking at on the upside. So I think, generally speaking, we've got this, as I say, a big energy point right here. We're just certainly capable of carrying this market much, much higher. So I'm not concerned. The markets don't go up every single day. We've had a whole streak of days going up in this market, so I think that's going to be looking very good on the upside. So let's clear everything off the screen as we would, and let's go to let's take a look at the USO, which I really want to put into my portfolio. So I'm going to go to my portfolio manager, and you can see I can very simply, let me just scope this down a little further, and I'm just going to plus and put in the USO, and there's the United States Oil Fund LP. This is the ETF. There it is right here. It's down, tracks very well, remarkably well. You've got the crude oil down 0.71%. You've got the USO, or the ETF, down 0.73. So it's pretty much the same picture there. And you can see the patterns remarkably similar. So if we were to see a pullback in this market, let me go a little bit closer. So if we were to see a pullback, I think you're going to see good support right around the 40 level, maybe 40, 50, somewhere like that. So I don't think we'll see a big pullback. I know a lot of people want to buy this market. They missed the move on the upside, and it's not over yet. I think we've got another 4 weeks on the upside in this market. So let's go to the dollar index. The dollar index, which is interesting, if you look at this on a close-only chart. Now let's scope this down a little further. This is what I want to share with you, and that is we just made a new low here. See how this market's going lower here, but on the momentum, you actually started going higher. So that's a bullish, what they call a bullish divergence, and it's really kind of interesting to see these take place, but they do take place. So it's a bullish divergence. I'll just put a D there, but indicating that the momentum is not following this move down. So I think that's the important takeaway. So let's see how this plays out, but this is the dollar index we're talking about. It's not the euro. The euro is part of the dollar index, of course, but I think you really want to just watch this market very carefully, and I think that's the takeaway here. So let's go back to our portfolio. Look at the Reuters Jefferies CRB Commodity Index. Now, if you remember, we're very positive on this. We have a plus 100. We're seeing a little bit of profit taking coming in today. The original buy point was right. Let me take that away. The original buy point was 323.11, and we're 25.14 now. So I think you want to be long this index. You can do that with some suggested instruments we have on our blog for trading this market. But generally speaking, the trend, we've got a massive base here. We talked about this before. You have the double bottom, which is right here, of course, and this is a pivot point around the 325 level. We've clearly broken over that level now, and it looks as though we're going to see this market go higher. So I could see this market going up to this 340 to 345 level without too much trouble, particularly as we see oil accelerating to the upside here in the near future. So let's clear this off the screen, go to our next market, and that's next market's going to be Medco Health. And Medco Health is really on the move today, but look, we've got a plus 100. We've been long this market since December 2nd, so we've had a couple of months, and it's really worked out well. 58. It's currently trading at 66. So a nice return on our money in a very short period of time using our trade triangle technology. This is, of course, what we advocate all the time. So let's go to the next market, and if we scope this out a little further, let's say a couple of years, we're actually at new high closing. This is going to be really looking good. If we can keep this momentum higher, and if we scope this out, we could potentially challenge these highs here back in the 2010. If we go further out, let's just go like a max. And you can see if we clear this massive base here, let's just take everything off the screen for a moment. And oops, everything off the screen to simplify this chart. Let's take that, and then let's just take the parabolic off. So it's a really simple line chart. And you can see taking out this level here, this is going to be enormously powerful in my estimation. So you see, if we take this level out and close, let's say, over 67, you've got this move from, let's say, this 45 level up to 65. That's $20. You could see this market go to 85 in the not too distant future based on just pure technical analysis. So let's see how that plays out. And let's scope this out and go to our next market. Next market we're looking at is going to be Micron Tech. Micron Tech is also up very nicely today, up almost 8%. And you can see how it's our trade triangles. If I put those in, you can see all of our trade triangles are green. And this is the thing I can't emphasize enough. I don't know what the earnings are going to be. No one knows for sure what they're going to be, but somehow the trade triangles tend to get it right more often than they get it wrong. So there's a nice buy at 7. We're trading 8.5, so you can do the math yourself. It's a nice profit, almost a 20% profit in really a short period of time. You're talking, we got long this on January 4th, so about 6 weeks, and we're got a nice 20% profit. Not too shabby. So let's go to our next market. Next market we're looking at is Whirlpool. Whirlpool's also a plus 100. That's up 6.5%. And if we click there, you'll see again when the triangles came to the rescue on February 1st at 56.29. The market's at 75. That's a nice $20 profit. That's a ton of money in a very short period of time. So you're looking at the 1st of February at 56, and we're currently trading at 75, almost 76, almost $20 profit in a period of just 21 days. I think it's almost $1 profit a day. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thanks to the trade triangles. So let's look at the last one's the bank, a pivot point, and Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett was talking about Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan today, so we decided to put this on. And what we're seeing here is something very, what we like to see in the markets, and I'll show you this what it is. And just put the charts on, and it's really quite simple. What we consider this formation to be is a pivot point. So, in fact, let me get another tool. I want to share this with you, and that is you go from this point here up to this point here, back to this point, and then you break over this point. And what this is, is a pivot point, a classic charting pivot point. So you would measure from this point right here, from this point here. So you go from 28 to, let's say, 38. I'm just going to round this out in really big numbers, but I would say you could say $10. So you could looking at 48 on the upside. So 48 on the upside, I would scale that back a little bit more conservative. Let's say, well, let's call that $46 as a target zone. And I think that's what we're looking at right now. 46 is a target zone, and it's right here. So currently trading at 38.86, and I think you want to basically look to be a buy. This is a classic pattern. When you get the pivot point, the double bottom, we've talked about this so many times, and when you see it actually execute, you've got a monthly trade triangle in place. Everything is a go here. The trade triangle came in at 37.54, the weekly at 33.27, and the daily at 38.68. So again, all systems go. Looks like it's going to go higher. So just remember, that's the pivot point, classic charting formation that we think is going to work really well. So let's clear the screen off there and go back to this. And let's just say one more time, if you have a chance to join us just outside of Salt Lake City in Utah for the Market Club's first Investor Summit, we'd love to see you there. You can give us a call toll free at 1-877-219-1482, extension 10234. For those of you who are calling overseas or watching this video overseas, you can give us a call at 1-801-341-3981, extension 10234. And they'll be very happy to tell you about this 3-day program, 2 or 3-day program. It depends on your timing and your availability, but we'd love to have you come. Space is limited. Literally, it's only going to be 40 people who are going to attend this. It's not going to be a massive conference. We want to really have one-on-one teaching so to help you become a better trader and investor in 2012. Hey, this is Adam Hewison. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great trading day.